This is what bothers me, because I've certainly read some of the things online, coming from people that I know, that I like, that I consider friends. Space is not an either or, it's a both and because you do something in space doesn't mean you're taking anything away from Earth. And what you're doing in space is trying to make things better here on Earth. What Blue Origin wants to do is take the waste here and figure out a way to put it in space to make our planet cleaner. I mean, Jeff Bezos has so many ideas, and the people that are working there are really devoted and dedicated to making our planet a better place. That's number one. Number two, there was nothing frivolous about what we did. So, I'm very disappointed and very saddened by it. And I also say this, what it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that. I've had so many women and young girls reach out to me, and men too, by the way, men too, that say, wow, I never thought I could do that, but I see you doing it at this stage of my life. Who would have thunk it? Not me.
Now, it was supposed to be a shimmering moment in the cosmos, a glittering headline for Girl Power 6 glamorous, powerful, and brilliant women boarding Blue Origin's sleek New Shepard rocket, ready to leave Earth for an 11-minute cosmic joyride, led by Jeff Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, and joined by heavy hitters like Katy Perry, Gayle King, Amanda Nguyen, Aisha Bowe, and Carrie Ann Flynn. The launch was hyped as historic. After all, it was the first all-female spaceflight crew since 1963. Cue the fireworks, right? Wrong. Because not long after the high-flying liftoff, the Hollywood glitterati were not clapping, they were clapping back. And let's just say, the reaction wasn't celestial.
Guys, last second, they added me to space, and I'm going to space. I'm bringing this thing. It has no meaning to me, but it was in my bag, and I was like on the subway, and I got the text, and they were like, do you want to go to space? So I'm going to space, and thank you to everyone who got me here, and I'll see you guys in space.
The moment the 64 to 88 million per seat cost hit the public radar, the internet, and more importantly, the A-list imploded. Celebrities who normally stay silent on scientific ventures were suddenly grabbing mics, hitting socials, and making red carpet statements. The message? Maybe launching women into space for 11 minutes while the world is on fire wasn't the flex Blue Origin thought it was. One of the loudest shade throwers, a major Oscar-winning actress who, at a charity gala just days after the launch, raised her glass during a toast and quipped, "Here's to spending $500 million to make 6 women float, while half the world can't afford to eat. Cheers, Bezos." The room laughed nervously. But she wasn't done because, of course, her publicist made sure the line made its way to every major tabloid within hours. And she wasn't alone. A-list comedian and talk show host wasn't pulling punches either. On her show, she ran a segment titled, "Who Needs Groceries When You Can Float?" and mocked the launch with a faux interview featuring actresses in astronaut suits sipping champagne. The tagline, "Zero gravity, zero awareness." Even rappers joined the backlash. One iconic hip-hop mogul posted a now viral Instagram story. "You telling me we got folks living in tents on Sunset Boulevard and we out here making space TikToks? Nah, I'm good." It wasn't just about the money, though. Many stars took issue with the timing. With ongoing wars, climate disasters, and humanitarian crises unfolding around the world, the optics of launching a glam-packed, ultra-exclusive girl trip to the stratosphere struck many as detached, at best, tone-deaf, at worst. One beloved singer-songwriter, known for her activism, tweeted, "Love seeing women shine. Hate seeing 500 milli plus used for space selfies while schools beg for supplies. Priority? Do better." The backlash had levels. Some focused on the environmental impact. The emissions from each rocket launch are no small matter. And one eco-conscious celeb who's built her brand around sustainability went all in. In a TikTok viewed over 12 million times, she called out the hypocrisy. Private jets were bad enough. Now we're doing private rockets for 11 minutes? That's like microwaving the planet to cook a marshmallow. Others questioned the substance behind the PR spin. Sure, it was historic, but was it meaningful? One veteran Hollywood director posted, "Was this empowering, or was it just 6 rich people cosplaying as astronauts while real women are fighting for basic rights across the globe?" And let's not pretend the whispers didn't swirl about who got to go. There were murmurs that the list of female astronauts felt more like a billionaire's birthday invite than a thoughtful representation of female excellence. A comedian even joked during her stand-up set, "You know, it's not a feminist revolution when the flight roster looks like a Forbes brunch." But let's not forget the celebrity class is just as divided excited as the rest of us. Because while many were dragging the launch to the moon and back, a handful of stars were defending it like it was their own Oscar campaign. One famous actress who also happens to be besties with a certain space-bound singer posted an emotional tribute the day of the flight. Today, women soar. Not just above Earth, but above limits. This is what inspiration looks like. Proud of my girls. And some celebs tried to straddle the fence. A pop heartthrob tweeted, "Sure, it's expensive, but it's also symbolic. Women breaking barriers. I get both sides." Still, the haters had the loudest mic. The memes? Savage. From photoshopped pics of the women sipping cocktails in zero gravity while the world burned below, to viral hashtags like space waste and float for what? The internet was having a field day. Talk show panels debated it like it was election season. Influencers weighed in with reaction videos to those reaction videos, and think pieces in their story. Some even started petitions. If you have $88 million to spare, fund clean water projects, not rocket chairs. Ouch. The fact that Blue Origin stayed radio silent for days after didn't help. No statements, no clarification, just a bunch of glossy photos of floating women in flight suits and carefully curated Instagram reels. Critics called it astronaut cosplay for the rich. Even former astronauts chimed in. One retired space veteran gave a speech at a science conference and, though he didn't name names, said, "Real space travel is about exploration, sacrifice, and science, not spectacle." Meanwhile, back on Earth, the celebrities who had once jumped to celebrate the launch started to shift tone. Some quietly deleted congratulatory posts. Others turned off comments. One singer, who posted a heart emoji on launch day, edited her caption to, "Proud moment, also praying for peace and justice around the world."
They went to space for 11 minutes. This is America's goddamn problem, and that's why the other countries be laughing at us. Land of the free and the home of the fuck out of here, because I thought these women were staying up there for at least a month. 11 minutes? How much that cost? Kids been starving. The homelessness is insane. Everybody don't even qualify for food stamps no more. The eggs, the footage don't even look real. It looked like it came from a motion picture from the 70s. What we supposed to do with this information on this Monday morning? Like, did Jeff Bezos send his wife for collateral just to prove that ain't nothing gonna happen to them, or he don't care about her either? We really couldn't have allocated that money to decrease the egg prices? I need a scientist to make a TikTok right now to really give us the tea of if you could really get to space in 11 minutes, because I call bullshit. Hey, Jeffrey, you want to do us all a favor and send Trump and Elon up there next? Please and thank you.
Hold up. So they say they was in space for how long? I'm sorry, but y'all really expect me to believe that this whole space trip took less than 10 minutes? Come on now. Here they go, once again, playing right in our face. And people just eat that shit up. So you mean to tell me they launched these women into space, they unbuckle their seatbelt, get to float around or whatever, look through that tiny ass window, see space, and then make it back down within that time frame that they showed? Nah, I don't think so. But what's wild to me is Blue Origin said that this is a 10-minute mission, but the landing post came back 7 or 8 minutes after launch saying that they welcomed them back. They came back successfully. So something's not adding up. The math is definitely not mathing. And then they want to show us footage from outside the motherfucking capsule. I want to see the footage from inside the capsule. I want to see them up in space. I want to see them floating around, talking, looking, pointing out that little window, saying, "Oh my God, we made it." Something. Don't show the outside, show the inside cam. Show when they're going up, when they're up, and when they're coming down. So until I see inside that capsule of all the footage of them going up, coming down, floating around, doing all that, etc., 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 y'all can kiss my, because I don't believe that shit. I don't believe it.
So Gayle King is a little frustrated, maybe disappointed, because she feels that we're not taking that space trip that they took as serious as she thinks we should take it. For one, she's upset that people are calling it a space trip and not a space mission. And let's just say they did make it into outer space, because a lot of people don't believe that they made it into outer space, but you were only there a total of 11 minutes. That's what you said, right? She's also frustrated and disappointed because she feels that women aren't taking that trip that they took as serious as she thought it was. She thought that the trip that they were taking, the all-women group, was gonna inspire women to want to go out of space. Yeah, you guys paid for that trip. A lot of people here can't pay to go out of space, Gayle. And honestly and truly, a lot of people don't even believe that y'all made it out of space, Gayle. Gayle also said that she feels like it was a waste that they went out of space. I mean, honestly and truly, I believe you should be able to do exactly what you want to do with your money. But if you want to be technical, everybody that was on that aircraft should feel like it was a waste. I mean, what did you accomplish? What did you go up there and do? Now, you had the other group of people that went to space, real astronauts, that was out there for months on top of months. And you telling me that you guys just jumped in a spacecraft, went to space, and came right back down. Another thing, since we're on the topic, if you think about it, every last astronaut that went into outer space had on a helmet. I'm gonna say that to you again. Every other astronaut that went into outer space had on a helmet. None of these ladies had on helmets. I guess they was just trying to sell the fact that they went into outer space by, you know what? That's another topic for another video. What I will say is, Gayle, we appreciate your services. I'm out.
So I really tried to give the benefit of the doubt yesterday with that Blue Origin launch, but after watching this video, I am convinced they faked that shit. Watch that again. The hatch that was up in space accidentally opens from the inside, which they then go to correct because it's not media time. Then Jeff Bezos pretends to open the capsule, which it just pops open when he uses the tool. And as you notice, the capsule opens inwards, and with a little research you can find out that every space mission with a capsule, the hatch opens outwards, being called a standard safety measure. So this right here is automatically a red flag. Not to mention that the capsule that went into space and back into orbit has no burn or torch marks on it. Perfectly clean. And just for reference, this is the Dragon capsule that came back into orbit, and as you notice, it's burnt to a crisp. Another thing I'm seeing a bunch of truth tellers point out is how perfect all their hair comes out after being in 0G. Like, you're telling me after all of that, you're still able to come out with perfectly groomed hair? Like, you would assume them to come out to the extent of something like this. And that's not even mentioning they went up into space with leggings and a Fantastic Four costume. But I guess there's no need for astronaut suits or helmets when you're faking space, right? Now, for those who believe that in 2025 we cannot possibly fake space, take a look at this and tell me it's not almost exactly what they try to get away with. Unbelievable. But if you were to show somebody this video, you would assume it was just as real. But let me know what you guys think about this crazy publicity stunt that Blue Origin pulled, calling these females astronauts for a not even 11-minute joyride. And them coming back with people having even more questions than they had about space. So let me know what you think. Was this real or fake?
Space is not an either or, it's a both and because you do something in space doesn't mean you're taking anything away from Earth. And what you're doing in space is trying to make things better here on Earth. What Blue Origin wants to do is take the waste here and figure out a way to put it in space to make our planet cleaner.
You were looking for somewhere to dump the garbage in space, and Katy Perry's setlist still made it back to Earth. But yeah, that's what you were doing in space. Lauren Bezos is going to fix the ecosystem. She's going to solve pollution, actually, and let me guess, she's just carrying the toxic waste in her face until you get there.
Number two, have you been? Have you been? If you've been and you still feel that way after you come back, please let's have a conversation.
Have you been? No, sorry Gayle, American citizens have not been to space because they're trying to afford some fucking groceries. And actually the only space that they want to see is about 6 feet between the soles of their feet and Mrs. Donald Trump.
Please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, you have never said to an astronaut, boy, what a ride. You know, we duplicated the same trajectory that Alan Shepard did back in the day.
I'm going to have to stop you there, because Alan Shepard was an astronaut, not a pop star or a TV presenter, so he had an actual reason to be in space other than narcissism. And now you're here using the term misogyny to validate that narcissism. Just delusional, tone deaf, entitled. I don't know why we have to send them into space. They already live on another planet.
I've never seen a group of fuckers waste so much money in 11 minutes. This is the reason why we're the laughing stocks of the world right now. You know how much money they wasted that could have went to people that's starving, people that's homeless? They didn't even have on the right equipment to go into space. You telling me they went to the edge of it and then turned back around? What a waste. This shit just looked fake to me. But look at this.
Got it? 1, 2, 3, take us space!
Look, shit look like it's AI.
It's in space.
Wow. Normally when you hear people finna go to space, they normally finna be up there for a month or so, not 11 minutes. Like, why couldn't that money be used to decrease the egg prices? Like, literally, did Jeff Bezos send his wife to show that nothing was gonna happen? Or he didn't care about her being collateral damage? Nevertheless, the next time y'all decide to send somebody in space, send old Donnie Boy and Elon Musty.